Okay, Kai Havertz has reportedly got a mysterious, crazy injury that we don't know exactly what it is yet, but it's caused Arsenal to start searching for alternatives. So we're going to be talking about the Arsenal injury crisis and maybe touch on as well on the West Ham ownership crisis. I am joined here by the great Simon Miller, the Arsenal representative, to talk about this. We met at the overlap, Simon, and no, it was good, and it's great to have you on, mate.
Oh, no, dude, I appreciate you having me. Like I say, when we thought we were going to do this, I hope that we could just come on and talk about results and the future. But again, in Arsenal land, there's another problem we got to get into instead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We could touch on a bit of the Man United game as well, but this has come up at just such a crazy time. It's a blessing and a curse. Like it's come in the transfer window.
Yep.
But it had your transfer window, Simon. You could tell me, obviously, you follow it closely than me, but you seem to be slowing down. It went quiet, and we didn't really hear big moves from Arsenal. And now this injury's happened. I mean, what was your reaction when you first see like the Havertz news?
So the problem was usually when I see this news, it's just from nonsense accounts. So I'm like, man, I don't need to worry about that. But this came straight from the big ones, and I was like, well, that's definitely true. Because they don't post things unless they have it confirmed. Then it broke on the radio about 25 minutes later. So I was like, all right, this is a real deal. And the problem is his knee again, right? And that was the issue before. So he could be out for ages. I've had anywhere up to 4 months. And it's so hard, man, because you're right. You know what? You made a great point. It's during the transfer window. It'd be way worse. It was after the 1st of September. Then what do? But the weird thing was, it sounded like we were definitely getting Eze like a month ago. Then Nwaneri re-signed his contract, and all of a sudden that talk went dead. So I was like, okay, that kind of feels like maybe some fun and games are having here. I know he's about to sign for Tottenham, but I know it's not really a like-for-like replacement. But right now, creative firepower. I think that's what we need. But yeah, where do you go? I mean, Rodrigo obviously is the dream. I doubt it, because I think if Rodrigo's free, he goes to Man City, because Man City get everybody. That's just what they do. And yeah, Eze to Tottenham to me sounds like it's far too down. That we'd have to go kick up a stink, and that doesn't really feel like what Arsenal do. But it's really bad because Havertz, as we saw from the weekend, is probably not going to be a starter. Well, but the thing is, I don't think Arsenal have starters anymore, because you look what happened last year when we did just have starters. We fell off because when we had injury crisis, we have nobody to bring him, or not, at least not like for like players. Whereas, you get Gyökeres in, and then you got Havertz. Again, not really similar players, but they will play up top, and they will give you something a little bit different. So if you need to change your tactics, you can. Who that replacement is, I don't know, but I know that it's bad. I'm well aware that it's really, really bad. Because, of course, again, I'm sure we'll get to this later. If we don't, it's all good. Gyökeres didn't hit the ground running on match 1.
We will get into that. We will. I've been dying to get to that.
I'm not going to worry about that now, because I genuinely would never judge. Like, even if a TK for Liverpool had a terrible game, I would never judge him on one game. I think it's crazy and unfair. It turns out he's brilliant, so good for that guy. But if Gyökeres is going to take some time before he does find his feet, and you've lost Havertz, and Jesus cannot be relied upon, as much as I love that guy, because he's got a dodgy knee too, then all of a sudden we're back to where we were last year. Whereas we've got no attack. No, we have attacking options from a creative midfield point of view, but nothing just to throw into that pocket up top. So bad timing, very, very bad. Although you're right, I'd much rather now than September the 4th. Well, at least we can try and do something here. Yeah.
It's just a case of, like you said, because you mentioned Eze, and like you said, it's not like for like, but I think it's just a case of, well, we can sign another backup striker that is going to end up being like third choice when Havertz comes back, or we can just use it to spur us on and try and get the exciting signing in. But I don't know whether there's any financial situation at Arsenal for the reason that you're not going out and going mad and just going, here's the money for Eze, here's the money for Rodrigo. Like, what is, because when it talks about replacements, I don't know how concrete this is, but I started hearing Jamie Vardy floating around.
Oh no, no! I heard Nkunku as well. No, stop buying Chelsea players that never worked at Chelsea. We got to stop it. We can't. I think the reason that Chelsea have no PSR problems is because we keep giving them money. Like, here's the money to stay afloat. So we're actually in a really good position PSR wise, but that's only because we do this. We're very, very. That's what I'm looking for. Cautious, I suppose. We don't go out and spend big parts. I know we bought Rice last year. I'm not trying to pretend that didn't happen. But more often than not, when you get to these situations, it's a very laborious process. We think and we take our time. And of course, we spend lots of money. I'm not saying that. But they do that. They always try and make deals, and they always try and spread payments across sort of 3 years. I mean, Stan Kroenke's got more money than the Sun. So there's nothing wrong there. Like, if they really needed a cash injection, they would do. But let's also not forget who's Arsenal's biggest ever sell player, or biggest ever sold player. You know, it's Oxlade-Chamberlain back in 2018 or whatever it was. For 35 million pounds is the number one. That's terrible. So the most expensive player to leave Arsenal is third, because we either let people get to their end of the show. I mean, I understand that fees are bigger now, but it's still not an excuse. We either, get the most out of players, I guess, then sell them on for almost like a legacy fee. I don't know what you call it. Yeah. Or we just suck at selling players, like Aubameyang, that mad situation with Barcelona, which was just an absolute mess. So we're not good at selling players. I think we know that. So we always try and take our time, because, if this was a Man City, they would just go out and buy Rodrigo. I'm convinced they go, here's 100 million, Real Madrid, we'll take Rodrigo off your hands. And they would do it, because he seems to be in a funny position. And maybe we are going to do that now. I don't know. But yeah, it's the thing is, we bought Rice and it definitely worked. I understand you can't just go and spend 100 million on a player every single season, but if we are good with PSR, let's do that, and let's bet on ourselves, and let's go all the way in the Champions League again, make a bunch of money there, get as high on the table as you can, and then you've got money coming in, and we still have a bunch of players that we could sell. Like, you could sell Jesus, you could sell Zinchenko, you could sell, there's loads of them. I'll forget somebody, Reece Nelson, etc. There's so many people that you could move on, should you wish. So maybe they're trying to do that first. But what they got? 10 days. Not a lot of time.
Yeah. I thought we were bad at selling players. I routinely complain about how poor West Ham are at selling players. Like when we just sold Kudus for 55 million, and you're telling me your record sales 35. I'm like, wow, okay, first world problems over here.
We suck at selling players, man. We're no good
at it. That is bad. Like Chelsea, on the other hand, brilliant. I mean, you signed Madueke for like 50-odd million, and now Spurs are about to get Eze for like an extra 10. Like, surely some of this, I don't know whether people put it on Berta or Arteta or what, but someone's got to take some blame for this insanity of a decision.
I mean, I don't know whether they sat down with Ranieri and said, you're going to be the guy, so we're not going to go out and get anybody else. But that's not how there's no sentimentality in football. We'd all love it if there was, but there isn't. You have to have the numbers through the door. And if Eze is available, and again, he doesn't fit into that Havertz role, but it's more creative firepower. It's a way to move players around in your final third to change things up when you need to, which was my big thing this year. It was like, we're going to be the adaptive team. We're playing these guys. We can move this person and that person out. It's like Tetris. Well, you can't do that if you lose Havertz, because he was almost like the core of it all sometimes, because where does he even play? He's such a strange person. Sometimes he drops back. Sometimes he plays a striker. They put him out wide sometimes as well. He's not very good at it. He's not as good as wide. But he's like a utility player in many ways. And now we don't have him. So, and also, what if someone else, what if Gyökeres goes down? Or what if you lose like somebody else in that sort of, the three-man attack? I don't know. I feel like Arteta bought Havertz because he was going to be the reliable guy. He's not going to score you 20 goals a season, but he's super reliable, and he's not. And I feel sorry for him, because there can't be anything worse than getting injured and then being back for 2 months and then going again, especially at the start of the season too. But that's football. That's what happens.
Yeah, that is, and I mean, I'm looking at it. Is there anyone that you would want to see? Like, if you're going to go out, it seems that they are planning to get some sort of replacement or stopgap or whatever. Are there any names out there? Obviously, we've just talked about Jamie Vardy, which is a no. There's Mikel Antonio is available on a free. Obviously, he got in a car crash, broke his legs, and hasn't played since.
35-year-old striker. I don't think.
Any names jump out at you of like, do you know what? If we have to get someone to be back up to Gyökeres, like, this is the one.
Look, if you want to bring Jamie Vardy in as a pay-as-you-play deal, what difference does it make? Right? But I just don't think it's going to be I don't see how he fits into that team. I don't think he's got the legs anymore, which I hate saying, because Jamie Vardy, as far as I'm concerned, Premier League.
It's a shame you missed out on Callum Wilson, eh? If only you waited a few more weeks.
Honestly, that probably would have worked, right? That probably would have been all right. Maybe we go get Ollie Watkins. Villa seem like they need to sell everybody, so we can just knock on their door again.
To really be pushing for him. Arteta seem to want him in January.
I think so. Well, Premier League ready, right? And now you probably get him for 40 or something. And just not Nkunku is my big thing right now. I mean, who is there really? I mean, it's so late in the day that you have to start the whole process. But not Nkunku, only because we cannot keep going back to whatever this deal. Nkunku was not, listen, before Chelsea, I thought he was very good. When they signed him, I was like, oh, wow, that's a great signing. But he's injury prone as well. He was out for ages because I think he had a knee problem too. So let's not, if we're going to do that, go spend a bunch of money on fixing Jesus' knee and get him up to speed. He can play that role, but he's just, I love Jesus with all my being, but he's cooked because his knee just doesn't work. Yeah, which sucks. I hate it. But I don't know. I honestly have to defer to you, man. I don't know who there is. Who is there? I was thinking all day. I was like, I don't even know who you go for.
Yeah. I'm looking. The market is crazy right now, and we're seeing a lot of the strikers that people want being snapped up, and I don't think you're prepared in terms of having a list of prospects from Europe and the next. It's going to have to be. I think you should try and get Watkins if you wanted him. If Arteta wanted him, see what you can. But again, like you said, if it's going to cost you 40, is that too much now for?
He's 29-year-old, right? He's 29-year-old too. I also do not like selling old players as I do my inverted commas. 29-year-old. Well, it depends. Do you want to listen? It all depends on what he wants. And again, Watkins is not a Havertz type player, much an out-and-out striker, but I wouldn't mind that at all. Again, if Havertz's big thing issue was to get goals, well, let's go get a goal scorer then. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we over-rely on Gyökeres. I don't know. He seems quite durable, Gyökeres. I don't think he gets injured much, so maybe they're counting on that too. But yeah, worrying.
Yeah, because now obviously Gyökeres is going to be relied on to play every game, and you're not going to have that rotation when it comes to the Carabao and the Champions League and things like that. Yeah. We've seen the effects on Saka, that's things like that. So yeah, it's mad. Like you said, the Chelsea reject fit. I mean, Chelsea are probably licking their lips right now, going, "Oh, we've got a 2-for-1 deal. Come on, come back to the market."
They probably called Arsenal. I went, right, here's who we got, right? Who would you like?
Yeah. Don't worry, you don't have to ring. We know you.
Yeah, but we can't do it again. Like we really can't. It's worked less than it has been a success. So let's just Havertz. I think has been a solid choice. I really like him. I wasn't 100% sure when he came in. But it's not like he changed the world. Do you know what I mean? So let's not. There's a reason Nkunku didn't work, right? Chelsea are a decent football club. There's a reason it didn't click. And I don't think we need to bring all of a sudden.
Nicholas Jackson.
Well, it's funny you said that because that's what at first I expected that. I think he's actually got all the potential in the world, but he's just not there. He's just not there. Again, I think he needs to go to, who was he linked with? Newcastle or Villa or someone. I think that was a much better place to go. And I think he needs to go somewhere he's going to be the main man. And he's not going to be the main man at Arsenal, so it's just going to cause problems. So I don't want no more problems. I don't want any more problems.
No, that's the last thing you want. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like honestly, it seemed to be all the excitement come with Gyökeres, and then it's just like that's it. It really, what they probably was better off doing is have that mediocre window at the start and then get Gyökeres on deadline day or something at the end, and then you get all excited. Usually that's what West Ham do. Let's just save the best present till the end. Do you know, that's what I always say. At Christmas, I open the best, biggest present. I want that's opening last. And then you've got the excitement. Once you've opened it, and then you've got all the socks and then the pants.
Right,
like,
you're right, yeah.
You can't get, it's over now. So you've got the socks and the pants to come, and you've opened your big PlayStation.
So everything's all right because you've got the PlayStation. You've got it.
Yeah, you're right. Man. Yeah, you're right. You've got the PlayStation, but Christmas is over. That's
sadly
open.
Sadly, we scraped past United and then lost him. That's what we decided to do. Yeah. We went the other way.
That Man United game was crazy to me because it was, and this is that I wasn't confident, going in because I know you're always a bit iffy there, but you were record, you were much. I expected you to be much better than you were.
No, I agree. I mean, there's no point arguing it. People like to sort of. I thought United looked much better than they did last season. Arsenal. Well, I think what surprised me with Arsenal is we looked shaky at the back, and that was actually after I watched the Liverpool game on Friday. Was it? I think when they 4-2 against whoever the hell they played. Was it Palace? I think it was Palace. I know it wasn't. Whoever the hell. But when they won 4-2. I thought, okay, I feel more confident now because they got a shaky back line, and we don't have a shaky back line, so we can use that. And then Gabriel and Saka, Gabriel and Saliba all over the place. just booting people.
They got lucky not to give away a pen.
Oh yeah, Zubamendi as well was throwing himself around for some reason. I just think first game of the season, they don't like Old Trafford. I think that the record books state that they got in their own heads a little bit, and it was not. Listen, we won. And if you're going to win championships, you need to have those awful performances where somehow you get 3 points. Actually, an issue we had years and years ago, had no sort of toughness, I suppose, if you want to call it that. But I think we need to see what happens against Leeds on Saturday before we make any. Because if they look really good, again, I understand it's Leeds and they're coming up. They said they got the win against Everton, though. But I think if all of a sudden you kind of see that Arsenal you expect, everything, and you can move into the next game and everything will be all right. But it wasn't great. I'm not here to pretend otherwise. And United definitely sort of sniffed that, and we got away with it. But I'll
Yeah, no, that's it. Because I think there's been an expectation this season that you would kick on and evolve the style of play again. You know, you went back and done the Pulis FC business for the past. And it was okay. Well, that kept you up there, but it hasn't got you over the line. Get these signings in, and then get back to that first season when you challenged and you was playing that really, really good attacking football. And I think there was an expectation maybe you can get back to that this season. And when I saw that, it was like, well, this is the same set piece FC we see before. You know, so if it works, it works. But I just think it hasn't worked. So are you gonna, evolve? I guess.
I'd never judge a team off a one session thing. I'll see what happens against Leeds. Again, I think Arteta's idea this year is absolutely to get back to how it was. I think that's why he's been so stringent in building that back line for these last couple of years. Because if that is super strong, you can be more creative up front, right? Because you can trust those four. And it wouldn't surprise. Because I'm not pretending otherwise here. Within 15 minutes, I was like, what is happening? Why are they all over the place? There's every chance a call was made. Guys, calm down, drop back. What are you doing? And then you get the goal and you can't see it out. If you get an early goal on Saturday, I think you will start to see that creativity, or at least I hope so. Otherwise, why did we bring in Zubimendi to play with Rice, given that Rice can now move forward, and that frees up Saka and Martinelli, who's playing on the left, to do their thing as well. So I'm still confident with it. I'm happy to chalk it up to it's Man United Arsenal, right? Even though they're not challenging like they once were, it's a rivalry, and it's always going to be if you remember the sort of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not. I'm also not going to sit here and say I wasn't surprised. And that last 15 minutes, I was like, oh no, what is going to happen now? But hey, man, Raya had a great game, so it justifies all of that stuff with Ramsey. So I'll take it. I'll take that.
You got to flex your muscles on Saturday against Leeds. That's if you can't flex your muscles, then at home to Leeds, when can you? So
I agree. Yeah, new team actually looked pretty decent. They were actually one of my dark horses this year because I think Farker's got a point to prove. And they started booting out people like Bamford. And I think when you start getting rid of OG guys, you're like, all right, they mean business now. Again, no sentimentality. You're out. But at home, Emirates, first home game of the season, you got to smash them. You got to.
You have to.
A solid 2-0. It's got to be, if you are going after Premier League titles. Because you know who would smash them right now? Liverpool would smash them. City would smash them. So we got to do the same. You got to be like for like. Got to have that parity.
Yeah, you've got to, really sort of set the marker and say like, we're serious too. We're going to be one of the big boys. Give the other team something to think about. But talk about Bamford, potential Havertz replacement.
You know what? If it was cheap, he's injury prone as well. I like Bamford when they were here 2 years ago. I don't think he fits Arsenal's vision, but I really liked him. He's just solid. He's always solid, especially when he played under Bielsa. Then I think it all kind of faded away once Bielsa left. But
I put him in. I put him in that category of a player that's too good for the Championship, but not quite good enough for the Prem.
Yeah,
he has had spells, but it's the another player. Whatever happened to Timu Puki? I want to know what happened to him.
Where did he go? That's such a good point.
Drag him out of the obscurity.
He was good for a while, right? Always got goals. Even in that awful team, he always got goals.
Yeah, he just went through this mad purple patch where everyone was. I remember West Ham fans were like, "Oh, we got to get Timu Puki," and then as soon as the goals dried up, we was like, "No, well, never mind."
It'd be cheap now, though. It'd be way cheap.
Yeah, I have no idea where he's gone.
No idea. I couldn't remember when he left. I couldn't even tell you the year that he left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I was talking about your transfer window where you've opened the big present early. We're still waiting to find out if we're getting our big present at Christmas, West Ham.
I didn't want to bring it up, man, but I watched your game and I was like, oh boy, they did not look good at all.
It was painful. Is
it Graham Potter? Because I saw a lot of West Ham fans go after him, but I don't know. I don't watch you enough to understand where the issues are.
Yeah. Well, it's a combination. It's the midfield is the worst in the league. It's a shambles, really, really bad. And that's why we're waiting for this. We're waiting for the midfielders, but at the same time, Potter, he's picking players that should not be at this club anymore. We've got Guido Rodriguez, who we're hearing is out. He's universally accepted that he's just rubbish in the Premier League. He's no good. We got to get him out. And he's starting games for us in the Premier League. And he played him every game in the preseason. Everyone's like, oh, he's put him in the shop window. We won't see him in the Prem. And there his name is in the Prem. And the young, bright, exciting player, Freddie Potts, who started all these games in the preseason, he's out. Doesn't get looking.
Why is that?
So it's bizarre. Yeah, I couldn't fathom it. And that's the thing. If you're a manager and you're putting out the best possible team and that team's not good enough, then we can sympathize and say he's being thrown under the bus. He's not getting what he needs. But when you're making bizarre decisions like that, I don't know how I can sympathize with him because I have to look at you, but I need to look at Sullivan as well. So it's weird. But yeah, the midfield is bad. We've got a very slow team. And I know your style of play, obviously you're having, issues. Some of your fans are with how you're playing. I did a video about giving up my season ticket and all of that. And I talked about the sort of Premier League wide issues that it seems to be of the football. Some teams can play good football, but it just seems to be this weird disease of just slow build-up play and passing sideways and backwards. Oh yeah, it's infested the Premier League.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's the art of individual play has gone. And actually, it's an interesting conversation I saw today when Havertz was out, and all of a sudden, people are like, who are Arsenal going to buy? There was a small pocket on social media that was like, why can't we just manage the players that we've got? Why is it instant thing? Who do we buy? Who do we buy? That back in the day, you looked at your squad and thought, I'm going to move him there. But it's true, right? People come in with their ideas and their systems, and you have to get players to fit my systems. Yeah. So it's less of managing. It's more sort of like fitting people into boxes. And I think that's what's kind of stagnated a lot of the styles of play. It's why when Luton came up, they were awesome. Because they were just like, nah, we're Luton. We're just going to, it didn't work. But at least it was fun to watch them because they were just like, no, we're playing like Luton in the Championship. We're going to boot you and boot the ball up. And yeah, they stood out like a sore thumb, which is why I think they were everybody's favorite team to stay up, right? Because at least they added something different. Whereas now, people just fall into their lane, I suppose. And listen, I'm not saying it's a bad way because he's probably the GOAT, especially the modern day GOAT, but it's Guardiola, right? Guardiola does all this crazy stuff. I mean, Arteta especially, right? Oh my gosh. And Maresca at Chelsea, right? They're all these disciples, and that just washes right down the league.
That's the problem is when you try to copy the originator, the guy that's there, you become a poor imitation, and you don't have, so when we're doing that, we don't have Guardiola players. So why are we trying to do this build-up? When you watch Man City do it, and they can ping the ball around and these precise, intricate passes and pass, goal. That's fine. I don't find it that boring, depending on the game. But when other teams try to do it, it just looks like there's no ideas, and we don't have runners, no one's moving, and we just pass it around. And that's the big thing for me is we are really, really boring to watch right now, and we're losing. You can't. I said it's criminal to have both, to be boring to watch and to be crap. Yeah, we used to be crap, but really entertaining. Like bring back those days.
Do you want Moyes to go? Because there was that time, whenever the hell it was, when everybody was desperate for him to go, and now it's a bit like careful what you wish for, I guess.
Yeah. I was really hoping that they would bring this up on the overlap, but I should have probably told the producer because I know that's what so many people think. But the downfall started under Moyes. So how we're playing was how Moyes played in his last season. And then Lopetegui came in and played the same way. And then now Potter came in and played the same way. So it's like the squad. So always working under the awful owner that I talked about when I was on the overlap, David Sullivan. And they're under those constraints. So it's not like this was always coming. And that we was on the downward trajectory towards the end of Moyes' reign. And then Lopetegui, which is an uninspiring appointment, just picked it up and just kept it going. And Potter just passing the baton to run the crappiest relay race ever. I think it's it's not looking. This could be an all-time bad season where I don't know if you ever remember when it was in the news with Burnley, what came to our ground, and we had a guy on the pitch grabbing the flag and stick it in the center circle. You had Noble throwing fans around and fans throwing coins at Sullivan. This was chaos, and it's going to happen again. It's going to be mad.
And are you linked with anyone? Is there anyone on the radar that could be coming in at all?
Well, we just put in like 3 bids for midfielders that all got rejected. We've just like gone for Santos and Chukwuemeka for Chelsea, instantly got rejected. So I think we're just at that stage of looking busy and just keeping the fans happy until we wait to. This is what we do. We wait till the January sales, which is the last week of the transfer window, when all the best players have been snapped up and we get the leftovers on good deals and bargains. That's, I think, kind of what we're waiting for.
That's crazy. But you've still got, I can't, his name escapes me. Who's your forward player? Is awesome. Gets in the England squad. Really good. Danny Dyer.
Jared Bowen, yeah.
Jared Bowen, he's flipping. Do you worry, though? Because, of course, if you keep capitulating, he's going to want to go as well. He's going to pull Isak and he'll go on social media go, I want to leave. I don't like it.
I don't think he would ever pull an Isak.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way.
I think he would want to leave. I think it's Stan. I mean, he's someone who's literally married to the club, obviously, but that only goes so far.
Yeah, he's really good as well. So
he signed like something like an 8-year deal like last year or something. So, I mean, unless he just was completely just delusional and thought we were going to be brilliant for the next few years, maybe he's like, you know what, I'm happy. I'm the captain. We may be crap, but I'm here. I don't know. I don't know what convinced him to sign that deal. If he's thinking about being ambitious and all of that stuff. But
well, dude, man, maybe just always dreamt to play for West Ham. You don't get those players anymore. That's always my dream with Saka. People are going to lose Saka one day. We don't start winning trophies. And my little dream, probably unrealistically, is that he just wants to win trophies with Arsenal because obviously he's grown up there. He's from the area and he's come through the academy and stuff. Yeah. Very, very rare in 2025 football. But, you know, you can but dream. But I just find it amazing, man, because like 2-3 years ago, you were on top of the world. And now you're in our position where, I don't know, it almost feels like I don't even know where you could finish. I have no idea. Like if I did my league, West Ham would be a massive question mark.
Yeah. I mean, when I did my season predictions on here, I delusionally put West Ham 11th, and I feel that was overconfident. And I'm questioning the dizzying heights of 11th. Wow, couldn't we just possibly dream of reaching 11th? That seems like a pipe dream.
You can't believe that, man. You always got to believe
we could do it. We could win the 11th place trophy. So it's mad. I think it comes down to this, and what I've always wanted is to be run like a modern proper football club where there's a structure. And sometimes, like when we was good, like it was by accident. Like Sullivan didn't sign Moyes and go, you know what? He's the man. He's going to take this club to European football. He brought in first time just to steady the ship when we looked in trouble after Pellegrini. After Bilic. Sacked him off, like we didn't say, but said, right, you've done your job. We're going Pellegrini. Then Pellegrini went mad. Moyes comes back in, steadies the ship, keeps us up. And then he's like, right, we'll keep him this time. We'll keep him. It's fair. We got rid of him. We've done it twice now. Let's just keep him. And then it just worked. Like how we played, I think, on that counter-attack with this, we were set piece FC as well at the time. It just caught so many teams out, and it was really good for Europe as well. It really works well in Europe. After a time, teams figure you out. There was no sustainability for the long term. There's no plan. Everything's just like it's Del Boy. We are like run by Del Boy, and that's what he does. Sullivan tries to go in and get the best deal. And this is what I said on my channel. He goes around and sign some bargains, and every now and then, you know, like I said, you find the one that makes you become a millionaire, like happened in Only Fools and Horses. He gets the thing, and he's like, "Well, my just so he didn't know, he didn't want an expert. He was all by accident, and that was our success, you know." And this is why we are where we are. There's no long-term plan. We just have to hope that we fall into success again.
That's crazy, man, though. Like, because I heard Karen Brady on TalkSport, I think it was earlier this week, and she was very complimentary about, you know, Graham Potter and how nice he is of a human being. I was like, that's a weird thing to say about your manager. He's a really nice guy. But I couldn't really work out what
with his wife. So,
all right, okay, so they're
conflict of interest.
I couldn't work out what the relationship was at all. You know what I mean? It was just a very, I would say, nothing interview. That's unfair, but I got no sort of sense of if she's happy with the performance, if she's not happy with the performance. It was really like, I took it at first as like the modern day vote of confidence, but now in hindsight, I think I've just put too much on there.
Yeah, it was for West Ham fans. It was a nothing interview. It was
Yeah, I think so.
okay, you're just coming and blowing hot air. And she said, we're not gonna. There's no plans to sell the club, and it was just another thing to wind up the fan base again. Every time they talk, they think, you know what, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna put everyone at ease and really reassure everyone. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. And it doesn't. It does the opposite effect. So yeah, it was the hope of. Because why can't we get the big sexy owner? Why can't we get that?
I mean, it's true because you've got it all there, right? You got the stadium, you got the name, you got the heritage, you won a European trophy in the last few years. It's all there, right?
London, like everything. And I'm seeing all these other teams get bought by these ambitious owners. Marinakis, obviously he's a Forest fan, but I look at him, he fights for his club. The Newcastle owners, they're like, we fight for our club.
Ever since Nottingham Forest got confirmed for the Europa League, he opened his checkbook instantly. As soon as he knew, he was like, right, all these players are coming in. He's backed by somebody else that's decent as well. I can't remember who it is. But he's nuts. Don't get me wrong. He's totally bonkers. Yeah. But he does back that club to the hilt. And I could totally understand why Forest fans probably love him. And obviously he sorted all the situation out with Tottenham when they were coming in with the release clause and all of that. So he really feels like a shield, which I think sometimes you want your owners to be like. It's different at Arsenal. Because I think it's Josh Kroenke is Stan Kroenke's son. He definitely takes a step back and lets Arteta do all the work with Berta. But if you are going to sort of be involved like that, you want to make sure it feels like, oh, hey, he's the guy, at the gates, stopping anyone from screwing up. And I do feel like Maxaraka does that at Forest, whereas you guys just, I don't know, it just feels like they like being West Ham owners. So they're just like, well, we like it, so we don't want to sell it. So don't even bother talking.
They're supposed to be fans. I mean, the only West Ham thing about him is he wore that claret suit when he bought us, and that's it. He has a claret suit. I'm a fan, and we all know as fans, if we owned our football club, we would go above and beyond to try and this is it. Karen Brady said about PSR constraints, bend some rules. Everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is going and selling hotels and all of this. Go and just break into yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like find a way around it, like other clubs do, and make it happen. And I see Aston Villa and Newcastle. All these clubs are run so much better, and they was all in the Championship when we was, pushing up in the Prem. And so, Newcastle have overtaken us, Forest have overtaken us, Villa have overtaken us, Bournemouth have overtaken us, Brighton have overtaken us, all when they was in the Championship while we was in the Premier League. That's unforgivable.
That is crazy. Do you think if you hadn't had that European success, they'd be gone by now? Or you think they don't care? They're just going to hang out until...
apparently he wants to hand it down to his kids.
Right.
Which, it makes me think of speaking of wrestling, the CM Punk pipe bomb. I like to think this would get better after Sullivan's... But he's going to hand it down to his doofus. That's what I need to do. I'm gonna go on the overlap next time and sit there and
pipe bomb. Do it, man. It could work. It worked for CM Punk, kinda. I mean, not really eventually, but it worked for a few months.
Yeah. The summer of Lawless.
Do it, dude. Absolutely do it. Just burn the whole place down. Absolutely.
Yeah, that kind of was the last episode. The overlap was my pipe bomb. But yeah, that did my mind because it is. If he hands it down to them, I've got no faith. We want serious businessmen, ruthless. Get the job done.
Well, you need it now, right? If we're talking about like for like, right? We just talk about if everyone's going to try and pay Pep Guardiola football in a sense, then it goes up the food chain as well, right? You need owners that are doing the same stuff. So you need what Forest are doing. I mean, Villa, before they kind of fell into their issues they are now, to get out of the Championship, they really spent, right? They went full on and it worked. They re-cemented themselves. Again, same with Bournemouth, right? Because they changed. That new American owner came in, they changed the manager, and they was like, what are you doing? But it turned out, absolutely incredible decision. And after watching them at the weekend, they lost all their players. They still look pretty good. I was like, geez, this guy knows what he's doing. Like, it's madness.
That's what you need. This can't be right. I'm seeing, apparently there's an all-scene update. Exclusive. Arsenal make move for Eze, plus 27-year-old wants the Tottenham lined up deal today. Player, but after Havertz injury, AFC now closing in on England international if he proceeds with choice.
I just checked my phone to see if my Arsenal group had messaged me. As soon as you said that, I was like, I've got any messages? I haven't got any messages yet.
Yeah, this is David Ornstein, yeah.
Well, he broke the
Arsenal.
Havertz news. So, I mean, he was over there. That's where I saw it. So I was like, well, I'm not going to trust Ornstein. He's never, that dude is the most reliable one of the lot. I mean, listen, why wouldn't you do that? I mean, it's not going to do anything for Arsenal-Tottenham relations, but who cares? So when has that ever been good? It's not like we're on the verge of a breakthrough, was it? Oh, we're all going to be friends. I think you have to be selfish and ruthless in this game. So, go get him. He fits into Arsenal perfectly, and he's a ready-made player, and he understands how it all works because he's doing it right now, and he's got a great attitude. And listen, everyone yells at me when I say this, but I stand by it. I'm not saying that they have to be what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think. There are certain attributes he wants from a player, and a lot of them are respect and well-disciplined, and you don't talk about him. He's a disciplinarian, I think. And so you have to be able to fit into that mold. That's why he likes Havertz, right? Havertz is very much an arm around the shoulder. And Eze, especially because he's still playing after this Tottenham deal was already done, he's playing tonight, right? He's a super professional. And Arteta loves that. So even though it's, again, ruthless than what I can think of, what do I care? Go get him. If you've got the money and he was on your radar anyway, and apparently we have had this money for a while, we just wanted to get rid of Zinchenko and Jesus and who else is just sat there waiting to move on. We'll just do it in reverse. Get him, and then you can sell those guys off for lesser money as long as they go out the door. Listen, I love Zinchenko. I love him, but he's just surplus to requirements, so why hold on to him? So I think they should do it.
That is I mean, that is a massive L for Spurs if this happens, because they had it in their hands and they've taken too long, and now an injury to Havertz later, Arsenal are back. It makes me really question, though, that because they aren't like for like Havertz and Eze. So if they had the money there to do it, why did it take a Havertz injury to go and get Eze in the first place?
No idea, because every conversation I had with my sort of Arsenal compatriots was we need one more creative force. Nobody was saying, "Oh, we need a replacement for Havertz." Nobody, not one person ever said, "Oh no, what if Havertz gets injured?" It was just like in that front army that we're building, there has to be one more. And actually, it was more along the lines of, I love Martinelli. At the end of last season, he went missing, right? No point pretending otherwise. He wasn't on it. So you wanted somebody else to come in there. And everyone's like, well, Eze can do that job for sure. He's perfect at it. So now I think you're going to have to start moving people around, which I hate. But Eze is a creative midfielder in the Premier League, proven track record, doesn't have to bed and understands it. Issue now is if you're that close to joining one team and you change, that creates palaver, that creates noise. Yeah. And that's not good either, because that doesn't make it a smooth. If he just went to Arsenal 2 weeks ago, nobody would care. Okay, well, I would care, but you know what I mean. Overall, no one would care. So this whole transfer window has been nuts. It's just been constant shouting and throwing your toys out the pram.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy. But it's strange because Eze is a starter, whether Havertz is injured or not. He has nothing to do with him. He comes in and is a starter. So really just strange, and I can't work this out. So it's going to be very interesting. Apparently, he'll choose Arsenal if Arsenal come in over Spurs. So we'll see what the offers are, and if
you would do, wouldn't you? I know I'm going to say that, and I'm going to annoy a bunch of Tottenham fans, so I apologize now. But I just think that you would. I think on paper we should be challenging. If we're not challenging for the title, we failed. If we're not challenging, whereas nobody expects Tottenham to challenge for the title. It's not me throwing shade either. It's really, really not. It's just how I see it, and maybe I'm completely wrong.
Put them in the shout. No one's put them in. I think in anyone's predictions, no one said, Tottenham are going to be up there from being 17th last season title challenging. I mean, to be fair, Leicester did it. They could do a Leicester
10 years ago as well. Yeah, pretty much. But also, Eze is not. Listen, he's not old, but this crazy age thing in football. He's like 26, 27.
27,
Yeah, this is his last big, but not last. This is his big move. This is his big move. So you have to make sure you go where you think you're going to have the most success. And listen, if a Liverpool fan wants to come at me and go, "Oh, that would be with us," absolutely. Can't argue that because you just prove it. But I still think Arsenal are in with a better shout than Tottenham are.
Yeah, if Tottenham are serious, they go and do whatever it takes now, slap the money, give him a good deal, and because he would massively improve them, and they'd be.
I think he improves most teams, apart from Liverpool and City. I don't think you see how it fits into Chelsea because they've got too many players. But other than that, I think Eze can go anywhere and improve the team. Genuinely.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll be following this closely. And listen, I hope none of you get I hope none of you get one. If I'm going to be miserable, every other London
I
club
think you
needs
should
to be
never support
miserable.
other teams. I never get it when, like, in the Champions, I want the English team to win. Why would you want your rival to get more money and more success and more opportunity to buy players that you can't have? That's not good for your team. I don't care if English teams win. Who cares?
Oh gosh, yeah. When we had I saw we had the Moose from Talksport, who's supposed to be a West Ham fan, and he was wanting Spurs to win the Champions League, and we was just like, no.
No, we can't have that at all. I don't want this. I don't, unless it's Arsenal. Why? I don't want anyone from the Premier League to win. I'd much rather it's Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich. Of course, I would.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it gives them more money, if nothing else. And as sucks as it is to say, it's all a money game now. Look at what is literally going on during this transfer window. It's all a big money, PSR. Where can we put this? How many payments can we spread it over? Like, I think, who do Villa want? I think they want Jackson from Chelsea. And they've said, can we loan him for a year? Because that way our PSR books are all right. And they're happy to put in an obligation to buy because it's next year. So what if he's a bust?
Yeah.
You still got to go and buy him. But that is how much it sucks. So I don't want anyone getting any more money to make this damn balance even worse than it already is.
Yeah, no chance. So, so just going it would be good to just get your feelings on the Leeds game on the weekend and how you feel. Carl, you seems like you was confident, but if you was to really put your name out, put your chest out there.
No, for sure. So I'm going and I'm excited. That's usually a good sign. If I feel excited about the game, it usually means I believe. Sometimes I'll tell you I'm excited, but deep down, like when I went to the PSG game, I was terrified. I was like, oh, you're going to kill us. So I watched PSG a lot leading up to that. And I was like, they are so good. I've never seen a team more committed in my life to just applying their roles. I remember I watched one game. I can't remember what it was now. I guess it was in the French league, Ligue 1. And Dembele was playing all the way back in like the left back position. I was like, we're screwed. If Dembele is playing out from the back to that degree, because he was just working. But I watched Leeds against Everton. Everton were not good. So that's not a great indication of how good, Leeds are, because they're much a better team. I do think they look better. Again, I stand by my fact. I think they're a dark horse. I think they're a really sort of solid unit. But Arsenal are better. They just are on paper, and they have the experience because they're not coming up from the Championship, obviously. So there is no reason in front of. I imagine that game, the first game of the season, will be sold out. I'd have to imagine. So you've got the atmosphere, you got the love. Anything less than a 2-0, 3-1, I'd be massively surprised. Although, really, again, Leeds are a solid team. They don't really have anyone that should annoy our defense unless they play like they did against United. Because the thing is, Leeds will bully us more than United did because they know they have to do that. They got the dark arts in their corner from coming up from the Championship. But at the same time, no, I think it should be a comfortable first half, maybe a shaky 10 minutes, which I understand. But no, I totally believe that it should be fine. If we have another chat and we've lost to Leeds, my whole opinion on the season, sort of when you have that little voice in the back of your head, I will start to change it because I'll be like, that's not the template here. Because again, I watched that Liverpool performance. Yeah, on the back, not good, but going forward, incredible. And who cares if you're letting in 3 goals if you're scoring 9? Who cares?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's much more fun.
Exactly.
This is it. I'm different. So when I feel excited about game, I feel nervous. For sure. I don't know if that makes sense, but when I'm confident, I don't like it. Because I feel like, okay, this come back to bite. When I'm like with Chelsea game, I have no hope of us doing it. I think we're going to lose 4-1. And I feel good about that. I feel comfortable because if it happens, I'm not disappointed. I expect it. And if we win, I'm even happier because I had no expectations. For sure. So I get so nervous when I'm confident. I'm like, we're going to win. And I'm like, oh, no, this isn't.
That's Friday, right? You got the Friday game this week, is that correct?
Friday. So that should be good. But yes, I know it's good. A lot of people are pointing out Triple H is a West Ham fan. It's so funny. I don't know how much, because Seth Rollins is supposed to be a West Ham fan.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, Kurt Angle was reported to be a West Ham fan. I went to see him in ICW in Glasgow. And he was there. We did a meet and greet, and he was there, and the Dudley boys were there. And I remember going up to him and was like, "Oh, Kurt, you're a West Ham fan." And he's like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Can you do the cross Havertz with me?" And I've got a picture of him doing the Havertz with me, and he's just like,
That's brilliant. So good. Poor wrestlers, you get told when you go to England, just say this. Just say this team.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just like, yeah, like,
sure, whatever. Yeah. Upton Park,
and,
let's go.
yeah. And I had a really awkward interaction with Devon where we did that one where it's like, do we do this, and it was just like, oh, just get me out of this. Get me into it.
That's wonderful, man. I love it. But,
so yeah, Triple H is purported to be one. He has spoke about the team.
Well, listen, he's savvy enough that I'm sure he's at very least he knows the manager and he knows sort of basic information that he'd be able to share as and when. So it's not so bad. Head of WWE creative. Well, actually, he's probably miserable right now as well, then, isn't he? Like having a bad time.
Oh yeah, exactly. Saying, what did I do? Oh, because the hammers, he likes a hammer, and he's like, they're the hammers. I use hammers.
Oh, the sledgehammer, right? I got it.
I think I don't know whether I heard something that was what there was to it.
Yeah.
They like their nickname teams in America, and they're like hammers. They've got the Sharks or the Turtles. I don't know what their team name.
They should have a team called the Turtles. That'd be way better. I'd support them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, so would I. So yeah, I guess it's hammers, and he likes hammers. But yeah, he's done interviews about it, but you can tell he's not like us. He's not into it. He's not invested.
No, for sure. Yeah, of course. I don't think he's a big sports guy. I've never heard him talk about NFL or anything like that. So I don't think he's massively into sports. I don't think.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm confident. I think if we chatted next week, that we'll be again 6 points on the board, which means you're at the top of the league, right? That's what it means because nobody can have more than 6 points on the board at this stage. And I'm even if it's not a scrappy performance, don't get me wrong, I'll have my reservations, but I'll take having numbers up on that thing, especially if between then and now we sign Eze as well. I think that's not a bad 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and you get Eze and 6. Oh gosh, some of the Arsenal fans, they're going to be unbearable.
Dude, don't get me wrong. I shouldn't say this, but I see them too. And sometimes I'm like, guys, you're not doing us any favors. You just need to tone it down a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit.
Oh gosh. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you coming on, Simon. Obviously, you've just started your fitness channel up separate. You've been doing the fitness content. So yeah, I encourage everyone to check that out because I've been following your fitness content for a while, and as I'm back, as everyone likes to point out on this channel, I've put on some weight over the last year.
Did they really say that? Unbelievable.
Yeah, this YouTube. And I'm like, do you know what? Yes, give it to me. I like it. It motivates me because that's like reminds me. Don't get comfortable. Tell me. And this is my guru.
That's fair. Yeah. Dude, I get it as well, though, talking about that. Like, I haven't been able to train for a few weeks just because of wrestling injuries and just life being life. And so you sort of start to lose a little bit of size. The internet sees it like that. What happened, Simon? Instantly, what happened, Simon? Looking at me like, come on, guys, give me just a little bit of leeway, please. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So it's everyone picks up on it. Everyone like, oh, you've put on someone. So I'm like, yep. Like I said, Simon's videos, I will be watching them as I get back into shape. And
thanks, man. Really, and we've got a bunch again. I kind of let it what's the word simmer for a little bit because I know how YouTube works. But we got a bunch going up, all very. I call them generic videos, but I don't mean that in a bad way, but just easy, no gym science, no bro science, I should say. Simple gym tips for normal people. Because again, I talk to people all the time. I don't want to say it surprises me. Maybe it does. I mean that in a positive way. Who even says, I don't want to go to the gym because I'm scared. I mean, I don't know what any of it is. And to me, I'm like, it's so easy. But that's when you remember, no, people just want to be told this does that and this does this and you're going to be okay. Yeah. So that's all it is. If you're a pro bodybuilder, don't bother. But anybody else, you can come check it out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think a lot of people get into like the overthinking and different information, and if I do this, am I going to be wasting my time? What's the optimum way? And
that's and there is no optimum way. The secret is
shut up and get in there.
Yeah, it all sucks. That's the truth.
You just shut up, get in there. So yes, it's Sam Miller Fitness, right? Check that out. And obviously, you know, it's the wrestling content. It's smashing it for years. So do check that out.
It has been years as well. I'm an old man.
Maybe there'll be a football channel coming one day.
And listen, it is going to come. I want to just give it. I don't want to spam people with new channels, but it's coming. But we'll leave it there for now, and I'll shut my mouth.
Yeah. In the meantime, you'll see him all around giving his opinion on Arsenal as well. So appreciate it, Simon. And hopefully,
I'm really glad we got both of each other overlap, man. And like I say, keep in touch, and we can do what we do. Massive loads of fun.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, it'd be great to do some more stuff in the future. And hopefully we're back on the overlap together. And
yes, absolutely, dude.
and I'll be a bit happier than I was.
Oh, I liked
time.
it. Your rant, everyone should check it out. It's on your channel as well. The rant was wonderful. I remember going, oh man, that guy knows his stuff. I was genuinely impressed. Like, oh man, he's gone. It was great.
yeah, it was. Honestly, I just had to get it off my chest.
That was great, man.
So
exactly what they want as well. It was really good.
appreciate it, Simon. And yes, tomorrow I've got a video coming out with Matisse tomorrow talking about the Isak situation. So check that out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon.